Hello everyone, I'm the Unnamed Artist, painter of plastic and ruiner of collectibles. It's been a little while since I posted my last long-form video, and so much has happened in that time. I was busy working on a major Star Wars Legion commission, some of which you saw in the opening slides. I managed to get my hands on those 25th anniversary Pikachus I was desperately looking for. One of them got its topped edge a little crimped, but it's okay, he's unique now. The Strixhaven set dropped, and I actually had the opportunity to do a video promoting it over on TikTok, which was pretty fun. I might talk about that a little bit more in the future. And I definitely got around to cleaning up my office. It's totally all put together now, it's so much easier to work in. Trust me, it's great. Feeling motivated after all of that was over, I sat down and went through my Pokemon cards to see if anything stood out to me. There were quite a few cards that I wanted to work on, but the Celebi from Shining Fates really caught my eye. The cool colors, tilted perspective, and clear horizon line make it perfect for an altar that can be extended onto a canvas, something I rarely get to do. For this altar, I'm going to use a black canvas. We won't see much of the black that I'm laying down now when it's all done, but it's going to help me match the dark colors in the sky and make those blues and greens really pop. I'm so excited to get to work on this that I rushed through blacking out the canvas, set it aside, and while it's drying, I'm going to get to work on the card itself. I mentioned the tilted horizon earlier and how it's one of the main reasons I chose this card. Perspectives like this are pretty unique to the art of modern Pokemon cards, and it's because of this I prefer altering them over the cards from the other major TCGs. For the Celebi in particular, the angle of the horizon line lets me paint around and leave some of the nameplate visible, giving the card an overall different look from the other full art altars that I typically do. I sometimes like to call these pop-out altars because they just sort of pop out or break the border as opposed to covering the entire card, name, HP, text, and all that. As an added benefit, the card itself is going to stand out from the canvas that I continue to extend the art onto, so we'll be able to see the nameplate and then the sky behind it and everything that I alter from there on out. As my idea starts to take form, let's talk about the subject of the card itself, Celebi. Celebi is the mythical Pokemon introduced in Generation 2. It's known as the time travel Pokemon officially, and often takes the role of sort of a forest guardian when it appears in the games and the anime. Being part of the series for 22 years as of the release of this video, it should come as no surprise to anyone that it's had a lot of major appearances. Technically, its storyline began before the release of Pokemon Gold and Silver in November of 1999, because the Orange Island story arc of the anime came out in January of 1999, and it featured the GS Ball, which Ash later delivered to Kirk during the Johto series, and this was all meant to kick off a larger story where Celebi was present throughout the Johto series. But of course, as we all know, that plotline was sort of forgotten, and Celebi instead became the star of the fourth movie. I find it unfortunate that this happened though, seeing as Johto is often criticized for being sort of boring and having a lot of filler episodes compared to the other series in the anime. I'd be willing to guess that some of that filler is a result of episodes that would have featured Celebi needing to be rewritten and not really fitting in with the overall story arc that they were trying to portray. Despite being written out of the actual series though, it still has a lot of time in the spotlight. It's already been a major character in 2 movies, and will make an appearance in the 23rd movie, Secrets of the Jungle, which should release internationally sometime later in 2021. Even more impressive, it's been attainable in 19 spin-off games, had a majority of events written around it for Heartgold, Soulsilver, Pokemon Coliseum, and XD, and as of the Shining Fates release, this card that I'm painting right now, there are 32 Celebi cards that you can collect. So that leaves me with a question: why is it so hard to obtain in the main series games? If you're a fan of the core games like me, you probably know the pain of missing a Celebi event and having to trade around hoping you get a legitimate Celebi. Or, just wait for another one to come around. Before the release of the Generation 6 games, events were few and far between. Admittedly, now in 2021, online events and mystery gifts are much more common, and there's a good chance that if you're even passively committed to catching them all, you've probably caught one of these events in the past. Also, the in-game Celebi event is available for anyone who bought the Virtual Console version of Pokemon Crystal, so it's not like it's completely unattainable anymore. Even still, I remember a time when it was truly a myth. you couldn't find it anywhere. Before Generation 6, it was only available once in each major region during Gen 3, twice during Generation 4, and it wasn't officially released at any point during Gen 5. And of course, if you were looking to complete the Pokédex back in '99, you would be out of luck unless you were in Japan with a Japanese version of one of the games at the time of one of only 3 in-person events. Considering it's been about 20 years now and the internal batteries of those old game cards didn't last very long, I would be surprised to find out that any of those original event Pokemon still existed. I know it's possible that Pokemon could have been carefully traded between well-maintained cartridges over the years, and that save files can actually be backed up on PCs with the help of third-party devices, but I've seen no confirmation of anybody having done this during my research. If by some chance you know anyone who has maintained an old Generation 1 or 2 event on actual game cartridges, I would love to know about that. I'd love to see video, I'd love to see the actual cartridges. That would be truly amazing to me. Oh, and there's one other thing about these rare event Celebis. You definitely couldn't shiny hunt them. That's right, outside of the Virtual Console games and the Shiny Celebi event that came out in Japan alongside the 23rd movie late in 2020, if you had a Shiny Celebi that didn't come from one of those 2 places, well, you might want to check with the friend who traded it to you and make sure they aren't illegally cloning small grass fairies. And no, I'm not just bringing this up because I was bamboozled by my friend in 6th grade. I'm just sharing useful information that I think everyone should know. Circling back around to talk about cards for a moment, if you're interested in collecting Celebi cards, you'll be happy to know that most of them are pretty affordable. There's been a big boom in collecting Pokemon cards in the past year, and some of them have certainly shot up in value, like the original Shining Celebi for instance. But most of them are trading for around $10 or less right now, and hell, if I was going to do another Celebi, I would try to get the promo one for X and Y and make it a real, true, full art altar card, foil and all. I've also been considering, as I work on this altar, taking this same card from Shining Fates and doing a digital altar where all of the cards' colors are warm tones and the Celebi is shiny. If I get around to that idea, you'll be able to find it on my Instagram account at Bubblegum Crisis. I've posted other digital altars there too, and if people like them, I might start making those into prints. Well, as I wrap this card up, I've got to say, I feel really good about the results. I don't do these extended canvas altars very often, partly because I don't normally pick cards with art that I think lend themselves very well to the medium, like the Celebi does, and also because, admittedly, it is more work, and it can be difficult to keep things lined up and looking right when it's all done. Laziness is not an excuse to pass up on doing altars like this, though, so you can expect to see more of these in the futures. And now I leave it to you. If you like what I do, then you know what to do. But if you think I ruined it, please tell me in the comments below. Don't worry, I can handle it. Celebi, along with many other Pokemon and Magic Gathering altars, are available on my Etsy, link in the description. There's going to be a shortened version of this video appearing on TikTok, I hope you catch it. And, if you want to check out all my other Instagram pages, you can see some of the past altars I've done, and other commission work I've done that I don't do in recordings. Next time, I'm going to try to get a fancy new setup all done so I can do miniatures. I have miniatures for the new Warcaster game, and I also have miniatures for Cthulhu Death May Die, the board game, and they're gorgeous. I can't wait to show these off, but I have to have a good setup so that way I'm not pulling the mini out of the camera frame and stuff like that and making it look all a mess the whole time. But if I do get that set up, hopefully next time I'll have miniatures to show off. And if not, I'll probably find another card and an interesting Pokemon to talk about. Until then, I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day, and remember, support your local game store.